everybody, and welcome. You are listening or watching MFL Total Access. This is our 4th episode. Can't believe it, how the time flies by. Terry, what'd you think of this past weekend of football?
It was great to have some good weather.
Yep, for sure. No, definitely.
Lots of close games, lots of great games, lots of things to talk about.
Definitely, for sure. Why don't you jump into it right away?
Before I want to jump into it, I just want to mention how I feel we're more unbiased than the Mouts articles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you thought about him keeping his team number 1 in the Div 5 power rankings after they scored 0 points.
I was surprised because they shouldn't have been number 1, but I wasn't surprised because Kevin put them number 1. So like when you think about who Kevin is and you know him, then you understand.
Yeah, you know what else keeps surprising me?
What?
How awful your bold predictions are.
Okay, so if JC didn't get injured, my bold prediction of last week would have been correct. So that's all good.
I think your bold prediction is who you're gonna jinx. So try not aiming a player. First say Jaff's gonna get a couple of drops, he gets ejected out of the game. Then you say JC's gonna get 3 touchdowns, he gets injured after like 1 drive.
So this week I'll do a bold prediction on all 3 of the teams I'm playing against. Right? That could work.
That's not fair. So
Holy Trollers, be aware.
How about giving me some praise on mine? I said Holy
Yeah.
Trollers, after scoring I think around 30 points in 3 games, I said they score at least 30 in this game and still lose. They scored 31 and still lost.
Yeah, that is, it's tough to admit, but you were right on that one, and you were smacking on. I have nothing else to say except
you said JC would get 3 touchdowns or 3 receiving yards?
I said 3 touchdowns.
He got 3 receiving yards before his injury. He did score 1 touchdown though.
Yep, there you go.
On catch, yeah. Holy Trollers were up big in that game, and they somehow found a way to lose.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I saw the stat line in that game, and it was seemed like a really competitive game. But 45-31, what a high scoring game.
Yeah. So let's recap the games we actually saw or played in.
For sure, definitely.
Start off with your henchman doubleheader.
Yeah, so henchman, there was a tale of 2 games really. The first game we played against the Bitter Boys. We were 1-3 heading into the game. Bitter Boys unfortunately kind of derailed there. We had shout out to Demario Cooper for coming back. MFL Legends, the first time I end up meeting him. I've heard a lot of good things about him, and I really get to have him back in a henchman jersey. But that game was we really dominated from start to finish. The Bitter Boys didn't have their regular QB. We played really well in the first half, really great in the second half. A lot of interceptions. Jason Rossi had a great game. Dagger was really the one that got us going. On our first possession, he got the touchdown, he got the convert, he made the first catch of the game. And so that was a bit more of a one-sided game. In our second game against Meridian
Can I talk about the first
game?
Sure,
for sure.
I didn't see it, I just heard it. Reffing 2 games away. It's as if you guys took out all your anger in that game. I was reffing 2 fields down. I could hear Jaff screaming at me. That's a good call, ref. To me about my game. I heard Andrew talking in Greek. He was singing in Spanish. You guys were on cloud 9, eh? We'll get all over good before talking about the second game, but you guys were like on cloud 9. Huge shout out to Rossi coming back after missing last week, saying this is my team. I'm the QB of this team, going 27 for 34, 218 yards, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's crazy. Also, a shout out to Guillaume Robert in a losing effort. His team only put up 8 points, but this guy still managed to get 10 catches for 112 yards and a touchdown.
He's this up and coming star.
I mean, Rossi didn't throw any interceptions, but had he thrown any, I'm sure he would have been the one that got them.
For sure, definitely good.
I wouldn't say up and coming. I'd say he is a star.
Right. Sorry. I haven't been in the MFL as long as Terry, so he knows. But I say he's a guy that needs more praise. Is what I should have said. Yeah. But speaking of how we were on cloud 9, Andrew actually got 2 pick sixes. One of them being called back because he did the Tyreek Hill piece.
For those who don't know, I know sportsmanlike conduct would be assessed after the play, but a taunting directly to a player, that play is blown dead on the spot, and the touchdown could be wiped out because of it.
Yeah, because he was screaming, I'm an Olympic runner, and then did the peace
Meanwhile,
sign.
He's playing MFL.
Right, yeah. No, but he's fast enough
It's close, right?
Yeah, he's fast enough to be an Olympic runner.
Do you think Tokyo is going to be in Tokyo?
I wouldn't be surprised. I completely forgot about that. I'm not sure if his... I think he just speaks French and English, so I'm not sure how well he'd manage up there.
I don't think all the Olympians need to speak the language that the Olympics are in.
Touché. All right, for next game of the henchman we played against the Already Crime family. This was a tale of 2 halves, really. It was 14-0 at halftime for Already Crime. They came out really firing on all cylinders. It was what Joey Taylor likes to do. He was going short, and it was working. Zach Sworn in this one had 11 catches for 80-something yards, so it just goes to show you that this team doesn't really go deep, but they love to methodically move the ball down the field, and it was working. They were getting us frustrated, and eventually we kind of cheated up. There was a bunch of interceptions in this game.
10 total interceptions.
10 total interceptions, and you wouldn't think out of either of these 2 quarterbacks, both of them throwing 5. So we ended up tying the game. Then they scored, we scored. It was 20-20. They got a nice touchdown, got the the conversion, and we had the ball 27-20, a 2-minute drill, and their defense stood tall. We did a double quarterback and formation where Demario Cooper, he threw it, and I believe it was Danny Ayward knocked the ball down, and Morty crime family looking really good, and unfortunately we fall to 2-4.
Were you guys you guys weren't doing much of those double QBs before, eh?
No, not really. I think
Mario brought in that.
It was, and we started going for 2 more often. We feel like
and he's so agile, and he could just like beat that second rusher and buy so much time and decide to run, pass the ball.
We got a 2-point conversion in that game where I thought he was going to run, and everybody cheated.
That was to tie the game up.
Yes, exactly. Everybody cheated up, and he gunned it, and it was a really good play. Honestly, that was a great game, and shout out to Zach Swarn and Danny Haywood, who played really well.
Yeah, very early to say in the season, but that was a huge game. Looking at the rest of your schedule, and like looking at the rest of their schedule, which you guys are both battling for that fourth and final playoff spot right now, that was a big game. And Joy Taylor, man, he just finds a way to win at the end, eh?
Yeah, he's a winner. You can say that the way he throws the ball isn't pretty, the way he calls offense isn't pretty, but at the end of the day, the W's are pretty, and like what you said, we're 2-4, they're 2-2, so technically that means I guess you could say we're a full game behind them. We have a rematch with them later on in the season. It's going to be a must-win for us, but it was a really big win for them and to secure that 4th spot for now.
Also, one of your nice interceptions.
Yep.
Well, let's give credit to the guy who batted the ball for you to get that interception.
Yes. Yeah, Jafar. Yeah, Jaff made a really...
You're able to praise him on the show?
I love Jafar. My henchman buddy. Don't let them try and tear us apart. But yeah, Jafar, really nice play. Joey Taylor was rolling out. He knocked the ball loose.
Does Joey Taylor not roll out on some plays?
So I should say, I should specify when he doesn't roll out. So Joey Taylor did the Joey Taylor. He rolled out. Jafar tipped it. I was able to get the interception on that play. But a lot of good defensive plays made in that game. And Jaff made a pretty good one.
Yeah. Looking forward to see how the rest of your season's going to...
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited to have Demario Cooper back, and I expect big things from the henchman.
They say the highs are high and the lows are low. I think that's pretty much henchman season so far, eh?
Yeah, that's it's a roller coaster. That's what they call us, roller coaster gang.
So let's move along to Division 2 now. One of the games that I refed were Longchef against Les Petits Phoques.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got to Boris' head a little bit. I've refed almost all of Petits Phoques' game or played against since the beginning of the season, and I kept praising Boris how well he's doing. They don't need Dom Lefort. Kick him out. You be the quarterback. And this game probably showed why Dom Lefort is their quarterback.
Yep.
He threw 5 interceptions. They weren't all on him, but it wasn't really his best game. I don't think his head was all there. One of the early on, the Longchef, I think Maxime got a pick 6.
Yeah,
and that team started celebrating as if they won the Super Bowl. It was so nice to see how that team's really like together. Like before the game, they're all there early. They're warming up, and like it was really a team win all across the board. Everyone contributed, and I really like this team. I think like it just goes to show you. I think last week they lost by 2 possessions against the Honor game, who are undefeated, and this week they beat Les Petits Phoques, who I think was also undefeated, right? So it shows to show that they are a Division 2 team. They could compete with the best of them, and if you're not playing a good game against them, they're going to come out on top. Shout out to their quarterback, Nicolas Degnaud, who went 28 for 46, 216 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did throw 3 interceptions, though, but on defense, he got 2 of them back. He got 2 picks.
One of the pick 6 at the gate?
No, it was Maxime.
Okay.
Who had the pick 6, so yeah.
That's like whenever you have a quarterback that can play both ways, it really helps your team. But look, we said Boris unfortunately had a bit of a tough game. He looked a bit like down on himself. But you got to give credit to that Longchef defense, right? I mean, 5 interceptions. That's not all on the quarterback. That's you watch more of the game than I did. But like we said, on that team, they have athletes. They have guys that could cover man to man. They could play zone. And I think it was just a matter of time before they really pick up the game of MFL. And I think that they're a team that you don't want to be playing later on in the season because they may squeak into the playoffs.
And I have those 3 interceptions circled because out of those 3 interceptions, his defense stepped up to back him up, including himself on that defense, because Petits Phoques only scored a total of 7 points in that game.
It's a team sport. Football is the ultimate team sport.
Yeah, I see them warming up before, and the routes they're running, they're crisp, they know what they're doing, and like they just don't have the flag football experience, but to get their first win this early in the season, that's great for them.
They'll get there for sure, and I see them warming up. They're playing their music on, I think they bring their speakers, so they completely hype up the vibe of MFL.
Keep that up. Next game, I also refed this one. It was Red Zone against D Nasty. I verified, and it's not Dynasty, it's D Nasty.
Okay, that's no, I did not know that.
I bet if I would have asked you, you would have thought this would have been a really high scoring game.
Yeah,
it was 20-14 until 5 minutes left in the game. I was thinking to myself, wow, what a low scoring game relative to these two teams.
Right.
And at that point, they went back to back 45 bombs. So they scored a 45-yard touchdown. The other team got the ball back on the first play. They scored a 45-yard touchdown.
Okay.
And right there, it was plus 12 points up on the board. I feel both these teams have about the same formula. Both these QBs are really, really good and experienced in Mike and Kevin. And both of them have their main guy. On Red Zone, it was Tristan Lessard this past week for 7 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 one-point converts. On Dynasty, it was Sébastien Béchard, who had 3 catches for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns himself.
Yeah.
And then their second guy's their snapper. It was really a tale of having my deep guy and my snapper. The snappers, Fred, had 8 catches for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns on red zone. It's
pretty good.
And then Jean-Maxime Roy-Brisson had 6 catches for 40 yards, a touchdown, and 2 one-point converts.
That sounds very good, yeah.
Also, Jean-Maxime was a tackling machine, getting 6 tackles. He was cleaning up everything in the short. So,
It just to add on, sorry to cut you off, that you said Tristan Lasar. I talked about him last week, and I was roughing his game against that was KOLB, the team they played last weekend. You could just tell like this guy is going to probably be Mike Roy's main guy, and you could tell like he runs crisp patterns, he has good hands, and he seems to, like you said, have that experience. And I think it's just going to be a matter of time before we keep seeing put up these numbers week in and week out.
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a slow-paced game early on, but then towards the end of the game, it was turning into a shootout. If these guys if the game would have been like 10 minutes longer, the score probably would have doubled. And like it was crazy to see how they're like both built the same way, with like a quarterback with a nice big arm, getting their deep guy, having their underneath snapper guy. And the final score was 32-21 for red zone. And now red zone, that's 3 straight wins for them.
That's why I was hesitant to pick that game. It was a game I went back and forth. I believe I was the only one to pick D Nasty. Unfortunately, I got it wrong, but I think you said it. These teams are very similar. And if we see, I don't know if they play again during the season, but this would be They would be a great playoff matchup. At the end of that meeting in the playoffs, I think it'd be a really, really close game.
Yeah, and next game that I'd like to erase from my memory, but I unfortunately have to talk about it. I gotta give credit where credit is due. KLB smacked the OG Panthers 45-8. Ironically, we were up 8-0 in that game.
Yeah. Kevin let me know about that. Kevin let me know about that.
I've seen KLB play pretty often, like in the last couple of years. I think I refed one of their first 2 games this season, and they're a very good team. But I've never seen them connect on every cylinder like this. They played this past week. Offensively, defensively, they played like an amazing football game. Like I have too many players to name who like give a shout out to. Jonathan Plout starting off at the quarterback, 20 for 28, 200 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Wow.
His brother Maxime Plout, 7 catches for 100 yards. You got Jérémy Riendo Demers, 6 for 61 with 2 touchdowns. And then you got Quentin, 3 catches, all 3 going for touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like pretty crazy. Like I think you guys are playing them next week, so honor game, watch out. This team is for real.
Yeah.
It's the first one of the season, but they could have easily been 3-0 right now.
Talk about spreading the ball around, right? Like that makes the team so difficult to defend.
Also, I don't know if it was the regular rusher, but shout out to Alex Valliere.
Okay.
I can give my fellow rusher some love. 3 sacks, 2 safeties. I got a huge safety in that game to put us up 8-0.
Yeah.
The following play, he gets a safety on us to make it 8-2 and get the ball back and eventually score to take the lead there. So he's a fast dude.
It's anything you can do, I can do better,
It
right?
was pretty much getting a safety after I got a safety was pretty
That's
even.
cool.
Can't say better.
You're right.
We
Yeah,
both got
fair.
on first down. We both
Fair.
minus 6 yards.
Fair.
But he's a fast dude. He was fast. We had a QB switch in the game, and I know he was bothering both of our quarterbacks.
Yeah, for sure. Look, having obviously you know the rusher position more than I do, but when you have a fast rusher and especially a guy that doesn't miss flags, it plays into the head of the quarterback. Not only does he have to read a field, read the defense, but when you got the rusher, kind of like messing with your head, it makes it even more difficult to throw touchdown passes.
Yeah, so especially without you and both Marvin not allowed to be on the field at the same, not allowed to be in the same game at the same time. It's going to be an interesting matchup against KLB. See if they keep this winning streak going.
For sure, definitely. I have to correct you there. I'm pretty sure we're playing Red Zone next week. I'm not sure if I'm mistaken, but I think we're playing Mike Roy's team.
Keep talking, I'll check that out.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely had to kind of throw Terry under the bus because he would do it to me in a heartbeat. But no, talking about KLB, I think that Terry basically said it all. Like I said, Terry, I reffed their game last week, it was, and they had lost the game against Red Zone, and I was saying, like, not a matter of time, but they lost the game. I wouldn't say it was fairly convincing, but it was a game that you felt they could have won, and you knew they were going to bounce back weeks after. Like, I think KLB is a team that could maybe be one of the favorites in D2. And I know, like, considering, like, they got I believe it's first win of the season, right against you guys, and it's still really early on. I think that with the quarterback position, with his brother and the connection they have, that's going to be a really good team, and it already is a good team.
Well, that first week with that shootout, almost 100-point game against Outlaws, could have went either way.
Right.
You were correct, by the way. Rare time, but you did get this one right. You are playing KLB in 2 weeks. Not this week.
Okay.
I remember before the show I asked you if you were going to be there that specific day because I want to know if you were going to play them or Marvin was going to play them.
True.
That's why I had that in my head, but you're playing them in 2 weeks. But still watch out.
Yep, definitely. Still watch out. Got to.
You might be rolling even more on fire by then. So.
Definitely. I hope not, but that could be the case.
That being said, let's go to Division 3. I refed both of Tanan's games, like really day and night games. Like the first one against Big Boys, they won that one 53-12. Big Boys had to start off. It wasn't Francois throwing for them. It was his brother Xavier Rochette who was throwing. He had a little bit of a hard time. He threw 6 interceptions to 6 different players.
Wow.
So like that's like I'll
talk about a bunch of ballers on defense.
Not only that, Tannant scored. Tannant had 5 different guys who scored touchdowns in that game and 6 different guys who got interceptions. So really a team effort capitalized by obviously Philippe Farrand's dominant game. He won 8 catches, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a point convert. And if it wasn't for him being out of bounds, he was triple covered in the end zone on like a 40 bomb.
Okay.
And he was out of bounds, but the effort he made to catch that ball with 3 guys around him was like crazy. Some people told me you could have awarded him. I'm like, he was obviously out. He even knew he was out, but like, he still secured the ball, caught it. With 3 guys around him, he would have added to his stats.
I think that should be half stats. Like, let's say it was a 20-yard gain, you give him a 10-yard gain, you give him half a catch. But like the stats or the stat thing is already hard to do. So I think it'd be a little difficult.
I know Jonathan Zvetna can't win receiver of the year in Division 3, given that he plays in D1. But that best receiver race in Division 3 between him and Philippe Farrand is really exciting to see.
For sure.
Zvetna balled out in his game, going for over 100 yards and 4 picks also. I think the mouth will be writing about that one.
Oh, definitely.
But also I saw Lieutenant's quarterback play this week, Jasmin Henry. In that game against Big Boys, I saw them with their quarterback, and they looked like dialed in. I'm like, wow, this is clearly even though they lost to deep threats, they had a sub last week, but this is clearly the best team in the division.
Right.
I had picked them to win over you guys, and when I saw him being there, I'm like, I have no doubt in my pick. They're gonna roll you over, you guys. Easy game after the way they destroyed Big Boys.
Yeah.
Also, Jérémy Lafortune and Fabrice Malo had 2 sacks each. Had a little bit of a rusher competition going on there.
Okay.
Yeah, Fabrice got a couple of rush and deferred penalties, whereas like Jérémy made it seem a little bit easier. He rushed like fairly less and got like 2 sacks on maybe like 2 drives.
Okay.
And his team was kind of like making fun of him a bit there, but
brotherly love.
Yeah, always. So yeah, besides Philippe Farrand going for 115 yards, no one else had over 40 yards in that game. But the touchdown distribution was nice, but. Yeah,
I think that come playoff time, you want to try and develop chemistry with other receivers, just because you may have like Farrand double teams or may have like a spy type thing. But just like the stats you read in that game of all of them getting a picks on defense and like basically every player on the team getting a touchdown, I think that like that's impossible. How do you game plan for that, right? Like if you're a quarterback, you don't want to throw to this guy, you don't want to throw to that guy, and then Philip's obviously good, but they also have Aktu, who's also another great receiver on that team. So
in the lower divisions and in somewhat Div 3, it could work to zone in on one guy, throw him 25 targets.
Yeah.
Obviously in D1, D2 that will not work.
No.
But it still works in D3 and so far it's working well for them. Moving along to their second game against Iron Wolves. In my mind, John couldn't ball out 2 games in a row. You guys got the dub, but John threw for 67 total yards. Like, oh yeah, he also rushed for 12 yards. Let's not forget that.
No, that's 12. Is that a career high for him?
Not sure. We gotta look that up.
It's close to a career high.
So, yeah, I can't say John balled out, but you're somewhat legal sub Dave
Gutkowski. That's him.
He balled out.
Yes,
he balled out. He had 3 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah.
For those of you listening in and not watching, he's wearing Dave's shirt right now with his name on it. It's the shirt he plays with in our other team that we'll talk about when we're gonna recap Brossard.
It is also spelled incorrectly. I believe it's a Polish last name, and I always butcher it.
There's an I at the end and not a Y, so that.
Oh, an I here?
Yeah, there's
it's
actually
IY or just I?
I think just I. There's actually a mistake in the name that the jersey that you're wearing of him.
Okay, like no one's perfect, right? That just shows you no one's perfect.
Yeah. So besides that, after the game, after that win, you're all happy. You're like, I think I shut down Phil Farrand. Don't look at his stats. He had decent stats, 8 catch, 54 yards, but I did a good job covering him because I reffed the first half of that game, and I saw you going man to man with him, and he was going man to man with you.
Yeah.
I liked that. It was exciting to watch, and you caught a nice key third down on a easy drag route.
Yep.
For 1 yard, 1 big yard.
It was an easy catch. I guess it was an easy route.
I think he got his hand on the ball and you still caught it, so that was actually nice. But the thing you forgot to tell me, and I had to look it up myself, was that he shut you down even more.
But you didn't ask that. You just said how he played, and I said
power here.
Look, you didn't ask that.
6 catches, 23 yards.
That's a lot of catches, 6, but 23 yards. Yeah, that is that's like a yard per reception. No, but Phil Farrand, like I said, he was playing me tight on defense there, and a very good defender. Obviously, we talk about his offense, rightfully so. But he wasn't giving me much on like.
He shows he could shut down a good receiver.
Yes, arguably one of the best in the division, but I was. I'm just kidding. But no, I think that he did a great job playing defense. Really, he was giving me inside shade and that type of thing, and I couldn't beat him deep. John and I were kind of create plays, but it was a defensive affair. That game was really like a great defensive showdown for us. We were able to get 4 interceptions.
What was John's longest pass in that game? 67 yards. Did he throw more than 5 yards?
I think he threw a pass a 1 yard hook that Iggy took for like 8 yards.
So what was the longest air traveling?
I'd say 5 yards. But look, he got the W. It was a bit of a weird game. It was a weird game. I'm not going to lie. It was. I believe we were up by 1 touchdown going to the second half. Then we were able to score. They scored. We sealed at the end. But Dave was really the MVP in that game with 3 touchdowns.
And he got an interception.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, Jasmin Henry, I thought he was balling out that first game. Then he kind of struggled for that second game. Eager to see how they play next week with L'Étonnante after that second loss now in 3 games, huh?
For sure, and definitely, like, just judging by that team and how good they are, no matter who they're playing next week, I think that you can't pick
crazy
against
because they're
them.
only 1 game over 500 right
yeah,
now.
really. No, and they're definitely one of the top dogs, and I'm going to be hopefully picking them for next week.
Hopefully.
Well, we'll see. Maybe I change my mind.
So let's move on to Division 4 now. I played a game, we won 39-19, Thunder Buddies against Les Improbables.
Yeah.
Every week I've been seeing Les Improbables playing, they've been getting better.
Yeah.
Also, I cannot not mention that it was the Green Bowl. Both teams have green jerseys.
Yeah, what was that? I was watching the game and I was like, how is John allowing this?
John was not there, he had to go, and Kevin didn't bring the pennies. So there were no pennies.
So it shows MFL can't function without John, is basically what you're saying.
Pretty much. Had John been at the field, I don't know if he would have created pennies out of nowhere.
I think he would have.
So that being said, we were both green. The difference was our logo was white and their logo was black.
So that makes it much easier to differentiate.
Very surprisingly, and let's praise both quarterbacks, there was 1 total interception in that game.
Wow.
With
You threw it?
No.
Shocking.
With both teams wearing green jerseys.
Yeah.
The other team, before the first snap, asked me very nicely and politely not to run in the game. So I didn't run.
Okay.
I could do that sometimes.
Yes, you're a very good runner, I won't lie.
Second game this season where I scroll down to the rushing section of the box score, and it's empty.
I keep thinking that's an error.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, oh shit, I have to text John, there's a bug. But no, I actually didn't run.
That's impressive. It's good on you, honestly. Obviously, you're the best running QB in that division, but the fact that you're
there's
building...
also Ben.
Oh, that is true. Oh, thank you. No, sorry. You are the second
you.
best running quarterback in that division, but you're developing chemistry with your receivers, and that's great.
Yeah, Rosalie had some sick catches. She got a very nice long bomb. Goldrick taking over for Charles that got injured at the QB position threw some very nice balls.
Yeah.
He went for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. It's a pretty decent, like very good stat line against our defense, who is like not too down on horns, but we have a pretty good defense in the division. Alex Laroche caught 6 passes for 66 yards. They had Guillaume Touzel, who had 4 catches and two of those being touchdowns. Mathieu Demers scored a nice touchdown. And also want to shut him out. I didn't watch that game, but Jafar told me he balled out in his old school game.
Okay.
1 nice toe drag Swai catch. The next day in Brossard, I saw him and he told me if he heard his shoulder falling down. I think he like dislocated something in there. So hopefully he's good for Saturday, but that was a good game from him.
For sure. No, just to add on what you said, Jaff said he obviously had four catches in that game, but 4 beautiful catches. Your stat line in that game, because you're very humble and won't mention it, you went 27 to 44, 238 yards, 5 touchdowns, surprisingly no interceptions. Like I said, it's very it's good that you're building chemistry with your receivers. And Rosalie, if there was a most improved player of the year like award in the division, I don't think there is.
There is a most improved
There is a most okay. So I think that Rosalie would be my pick.
You're on the media team and you don't know this.
Look, I have to make some mistakes or else people would think I'm perfect. But yeah, no, I think that she's the front runner for I guess most improved player in my opinion. But shout out to Charles, quarterback of Old School. He was in a boot. Unfortunately,
he came out to
he's going to be done for the season. Unfortunately,
with a beer in his hand, the game was pretty early.
Yeah. Look, it's never too early to drink in MFL, but the breaking news was that...
As long as you're not reffing. If you're reffing, you cannot drink.
No, do not do that. He's going to, like I'm trying to see for the 3rd time, he's going to be out for the season. And still supporting his team and great team player. It's always good to see.
Yeah, very fun team to play against.
Definitely.
By the way, they stole me some beers for not running in that game. Be happy to get them at the end of my day next Saturday.
Okay. So.
Moving along, another game that I think you reffed, Les Panaches against Brossard.
Yes.
Both teams undefeated up until this game. Panache came out on top 25-20.
Yeah, 25-20. It was really a game where it wasn't a high-scoring game, but it was still a very well-played game. It was score for score. It was very close heading into halftime. It was very close at the end of the game. I think that when you think of like 2 undefeated teams, obviously it's must-see TV, and it really was must-see TV. It was. I think
it was your game of the week.
It was my game of the week, and unfortunately for me, I picked Raw Sauce. Shout out to Raw Sauce. It's really cool. They have like. Basically, I don't think they have 12 players. They have like 11, but it's basically like offense, defense, offense.
No one plays both ways?
No, there's a few guys that do, but like I was just trying to like say that like it's cool that they're like 11 guys.
You'd like to be an 11-man squad?
No, I like to be
what's cool about it?
It's cool to see as a ref knowing that I'm not on the team and I don't have to sub. But no, the guys are fresh, right? Guys are fresh. But no, really good, well-played game. I think that these are going to be two teams to definitely watch out for in the division. Both quarterbacks did a good job using their legs on key downs. Quarterback for Les Panaches, obviously we've Felix played the previous season as a wide receiver on the team, now converted to quarterback. There was, whenever they really needed a play, he would tuck it and run. It was a design run, but I don't think he abused the run in the sense that he's not a good passer, that he can't do it. He is a good passer, and he can use his legs, and when it became 4th and 5, 4th and 6, Rossas knew he was going to run, and they just couldn't stop him.
Knowing that he was going to run.
Yep.
I have the stats in front of me right now. He went 13 for 32, 146 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Very clean game. Added 6 runs for 48 yards.
Yeah.
Pretty decent average. Ludovic, on the other hand, on the Rossas, he went 20 for 35, 211 yards, 3 touchdowns, and those 2 picks probably made the difference in that game.
Yeah.
His main guy, Yvan Desjardins, 5 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sorry, I turned on once and I saw that one bomb he caught. He's leading Division 4 in receiving yards right now.
Not surprisingly honest, I'm glad that you shut him out. Does a really good job of tracking the ball in the air. There was 2 kind of long bombs that he caught, both of them catching them and then walking into the end zone. He's a big deep threat for this guy, for this team, but he's a big guy, and I'm pretty sure they could use him in the short game as well. Tough receiver to defend, and I think that it's not surprising that he's leading the division in receiving.
Another Tristan that balled out for Les Panaches, Tristan Tessier. He had both interceptions that game.
Yes, both of them were beautiful. Both of them, he undercut them, and Panache, Brent was going bananas, rightfully so. He seemed to read the quarterback's eyes, jump in front of it, and there was honestly great plays made throughout the entirety of that game.
All right, let's move along. This is a bonus coverage because we weren't supposed to talk about this game. Serial killers and airborne.
Yes.
For some referee scorekeeping / reasons, I had to take over that game in the second half.
Yeah.
Serial killers convincingly won this game 29-0. I think they were doing whatever they wanted in that game, offensively, defensively. They had they had someone filming their game, and I saw on Instagram, you guys shut us out, so let's shut you guys out. Serial Killers MFL on Instagram. They got a page going on.
Yes.
They got some plays of the week. They got a highlight video to their games. Great group of guys.
Definitely, I'd for sure recommend to try and follow them. Maybe that you'll be lucky enough to be entered into that group. But yeah, no, they filmed the game, and we watched like a minute of the highlights there. They made some good plays, right? Like they have speedsters, they can throw the ball deep. They also have that guys that can catch the ball underneath, take it upfield, and like you were saying, quarterback Sam only throwing 1 interception all season long, right?
He balled out this 9 completions only, but for 166 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He only has 1 interception all year.
Crazy.
That's pretty crazy. Like, it is crazy. Like,
especially in this division.
Yes, and like I said, I'm really happy I got to play them week 1. I still think we'd beat them now. It'd be a coin toss. I think heads or tails. Probably closer than the first game, but I still think we beat them now. And this team has everything on them. They have the height, they have speed, they have everything, and they're a great group of guys together. They have that chemistry going on.
Yeah, which is huge.
Surprising to see it's their first season playing flag football.
Yeah.
Before the show, I told you that I could see in a couple of years this team moving up divisions pretty fast.
Totally, for sure. Like I said after the first week, I'm just repeating myself, but we can tell these guys are very athletic. They know sports. They know the game of flag football, obviously, or they picked it up very quickly. I see, this team after winning 3 straight games now. We'll see their schedule, but I don't see them losing anytime soon.
Julian Chris also balled out, 4 catches, 110 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 one-point converts. So another name to watch there.
Talk about Tyreek Hill deep threat.
Yeah, pretty much. So let's go to the game you ref. This controversial game.
Very controversial.
Titans against Wolf.
All right, so Titans against Wolfpack. It was a game where
47-40.
Yeah, I had to adjust. I was wearing glasses. I don't wear glasses, but I had to adjust my eyes because I said that looks like Chris and Marvin playing for Wolfpack.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, me neither. But there was supposedly 2 D1 players playing, and I wasn't sure that we were able to name those guys. So
don't ask me.
But these 2 unknown name players that I just named had really good games for this team, and it was a really good game, high scoring game. It was like watching SEC football, Terry. It was a lot of long bombs.
Oh, man.
Ben McMahon obviously has a great arm. He has great connection with his brother. I want to shout out Titans. They're such a nice group of guys. For the Wolfpack, they were just learning the game of...
Are they also nice?
Wolfpack?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, very nice.
Quarterback...
No, quarterback not so nice, and the guy that made a bunch of catches is like a really mean guy. But no, yes, they're also a nice team, Wolfpack, but I forgot what I was good. Yes, Titans, very polite team. Wolfpack are just learning the game of flag football. So there was the D1 player on Wolfpack giving them tips and stuff. They had waited, they'd never blown the ball in.
Tips on how to get an interception on 4th down.
Right, exactly, yeah, and at the 1 yard line. But the McMahon brothers, very chill guys, both ballers, and Ben McMahon was able to use that R2 speed boost when needed be on clutch plays. But it was an incredible game to witness, incredible game to ref. Very clean game. I think the Wolfpack with those two D1 players will pick up the game fairly quickly. But it was, I'd say, the game of the week.
Yeah, very happy to see Wolfpack get their first win. Anwar Ruiz got 4 catches for 76 yards, and Ari Thanos was saying it was his first actual game. He got 7 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a point convert. Not bad for your first game.
Totally, and every one of Mr. Ruiz's catches was like contested. It wasn't like a catch where he dragged and deked people. Like he was catching the ball in the air, jumping, looking like Spider-Man jumping for those
Gotta
footballs.
see that D1 player throwing on the ball. Might have thrown a couple of times before, eh?
Speaking of D1, I wouldn't be surprised to see him in D1 come later on in the next few seasons.
Also, Ben just continues to impress.
Yes.
He threw 20 for 30, 220 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He added 100 yards on the ground, doing everything he can to keep his team in the game. Man, he threw an interception on his first drive and on his last drive in desperation mode.
Yeah.
To those 2 players that I'm not sure who they are exactly, how they got there. But besides that, to have back those stats in a game where 2 out of the 6 defenders are of that high caliber, like just props to him.
For sure.
And I'm looking forward to play Titans later on this season.
If I were you, I would not be looking forward to it because I think it's going to be a tough game for you guys. But in terms of competition, I think it will be. Could be the...
We're going to have a special rush of that game.
I was going to say, no, but the running bowl.
The running bowl?
The running bowl. It'll be combined, let's see, you were an 8 times... Let's see, combined 20 rushing attempts.
Yeah, how many yards? What's the over-under?
I'd say Ben will get 150 and you'll get 25.
Coming off a 0 rushing game.
Yeah, well, look, you never know. Never know.
Okay, let's move along to that 6-team division now. Division 5.
Yes.
Phoenix, their last calls.
Yes.
Like I said, I had recency bias. I could not have chosen Phoenix. They won the game 24-12.
Yeah.
They were up 12-0 at halftime. The last calls were doing a better job of distributing the ball. Usually would focus on the main guy, and I saw more guys and girls got the ball in that game. You were watching that game.
I was watching that game. I got the complete second half of that one. And look, if you look at the stats, Kevin's stats, Kevin, I don't like to pump his tires, but Kevin he managed the game very well in the second half.
It wasn't pretty.
It was not pretty. It was the complete opposite.
It's never
of pretty.
pretty.
It isn't. But
whether he's throwing the ball or not.
Correct. But like Coach always tells you, a pretty win is better than an ugly win is better than a pretty loss, right? So completely butchered that. But no, Kevin brought a few of his buddies that helped him up there. One of them is Bobby.
That have a little bit more than some D5 experience.
Yeah, just a little bit more than D5 MFL experience.
It's Kevin.
Yeah,
they're not losing 2 games in a row. It doesn't matter.
Definitely. I think the highlight of that game was when Devin was backpedaling. He throws the ball. He goes, F man. And or no, he didn't say F man. He said
F me.
F me. Yeah, F me.
Nobody wants to do that, Kevin.
No one wants to do that. But he also said the UCK. Like he didn't say F. He said the full word. It was just funny to see like the ball.
I said it last week. When he says that, it's not gonna reverse the play. It's not like Xbox back in the days, like you said.
No, the ball had left his hand. He was literally swearing as the ball was in the air. And luckily,
anticipation.
Yeah, it was. Luckily, it was intercepted, which is rare with Kevin's passes. But no, he was able to get the W, and I was the only one to pick them in that game.
Okay, let's move along to the Sunday League, MFL Brossard.
Yes, Brossard.
28-3, big win, getting your first dub of the season.
That game was nuts. It was we were warming up for our game on the sideline. You were reffing.
Well, that's all we had to say, right? They got the win. Let's go back to
Saturday. All right, so Saturday was 28-3. Yeah, really good performance by them. The game going to overtime. I'll let you kind of take over because you saw more of this game. But incredible game in terms of going back and forth.
I saw more of this game. I was reffing the other game while you were supposed to be watching that game.
Look, I don't want to put all the pressure on myself, so that's why I said it. But no, it was a really good second half. I know you're gonna shout out one of your boys who had an incredible game, so I'll let you do that.
Olivier Filippelli, the number 8.
We said we're going to test it for steroids after the game, right? That's what the other team was saying.
He got big arms.
Yeah, big arms.
Saw him lying down on the bench after the game tanning.
Yeah, it was pretty big arms and pretty big
tanning
catches.
Football, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
I kept telling their QB, get number 8 the ball. Get number 8 the ball. They got number 8 the ball. Man, he had a gorgeous touchdown, and he followed it up with a convert right after.
I got to say, sorry to cut you off, it was a good throw by the quarterback as well, threading the needle on that long bomb touchdown. So love to the wide receiver, also love to the QB there.
And he got an interception in that game.
Yes.
Told you guys, got to get on the ball. There goes your first win. The second of their second game,
Yeah.
A doubleheader against Outlaws.
Right.
They were up 13-7 at the half. They couldn't hold on. Outlaws got the win, 27-13. But man, oh man, imagine them winning 2 games.
That would have been.
The park would have been on fire.
That would have been like the Patriots winning the Super Bowl when they come back 28-3. That would have been like that. Except for the minus Tom Brady part and the cheating part, but yeah, Totally, I think that would have been great. But no, you said after their first win, when they went nuts and they were hugging each other, I almost wanted to join it and like group hug, and like we were gonna join them, and like no, we weren't gonna do that. But it felt good, like to get the win for them, even as a bystander.
And their first one in overtime, another very close game that we thought would go in overtime.
Yes.
If it wasn't for Brad Damaris' game-winning touchdown on the last play of the game.
Not so. A tidbit in that one, it was Brad Damaris brought his son to the game, and he saw him.
I don't know if it was nice with the touchdown or his son cheering his father on that touchdown.
Probably the son cheering his father, a little kid, and he got the game-winning touchdown there. Dave Daou quarterbacking for them to get their first win of the season. But no, it was you couldn't. That's Hollywood stuff, right? Getting a game-winning touchdown in front of your son, and Brad's a guy I've been talking about who plays on Honor Game, but in this Brossard division, he's really tearing the league apart. It was a shocker, really. Even you told me Dave threw for them.
He played well, minus that touchdown. Besides that touchdown, he also played super well. 7 catches, 68 yards, 2 total touchdowns.
And Jackrabbits now, that's another
What
loss.
a comeback win, though. They were up 20-6.
Yep. And we thought it was over.
2-point converting, and then getting that big interception under 2 minutes to go.
It's on a game of runs. It was a game of two halves, and with Dave's experience, not surprised they're able to get the win, but a really great team effort, and I'm really happy for them. They deserved it.
That's 2 first wins for Shake and Bake and 28-3 this past week.
It was a great Sunday, let me tell you that.
Not a great Sunday for Bread and Circuses, though.
No, tough game.
Did they get a beating?
Yes, they did.
So do you want to explain why you're wearing that shirt finally?
Yes, so I'm wearing this shirt because Dave Gutkowski threw 8 touchdowns in that game. Had an all-star.
He threw 6 to you.
Yes, he threw 6 touchdowns.
So you're showing your QB some love.
Yes, I am. Yes,
everyone was happy besides one player.
They won't mention his name, but yes, Dave and I had a very good connection in that game. He threw 8 touchdowns. I was able to get 6 of them. Defensive side of the ball, we balled out as well. Marvin getting 3 picks, Max getting the interception. And, I think that I was a little bit surprised. I was confident going into the game that, we have what it takes to win. But we play these guys, twice more later on. I don't expect it to be a one-sided game.
Season.
So those are going to be 2 big games. I don't expect it to be as one-sided in the next 2 meetings against them. But we were rolling, and shout out to Dave. Honestly, he had a really incredible game.
They have much more talent, and they're way better than what that score showed.
Definitely.
I think they just weren't ready for us at the beginning of the game. We got an interception early, and we kind of just kept scoring and kept stopping them. And like I said last week's show, they played 3 weaker teams, and they probably weren't adjusted to the higher teams of this division. I wouldn't be surprised if the game's much, much closer the next time we face them. And that's it.
It was that's a wrap for Brossard, eh?
Yeah, that's
Special bonus coverage. That's back-to-back weeks. What is this? This is too much Brossard time. You gotta pump the brakes now.
Okay, let's preview the games to come.
Sounds good.
So Moretti Crime Family playing Centurions. So both Moretti Crime Family's 2-2. Centurions are 3-2, coming off a bye. This is a pretty big game.
That's I think both teams come on a win streak.
Yeah.
I think both teams obviously great quarterbacks.
Both teams just beating Henchmen. So many things in common.
Yeah, really.
Henchmen right now on the outside looking in. Who are you cheering for?
I guess I'm gonna be cheering for. This is a tough one.
There's no ties.
There isn't ties. Eh? Maybe I'll cheer for Moretti because I feel like I feel them more, and they're really starting to pick up the game, and they have ballers from outside places there on that team. And Joey Taylor obviously know how good of a quarterback he is. I think this is going to be a really good game. Honestly, I don't think I'm I'm not playing at the time, so hopefully a game I'm able to catch. This is going to be a lot. What are the defense of Moretti Crime Family going to be able to do about the short game of Centurions? Yeah. But they like to bait you and then go deep. And what about Colette? How are they going to stop that?
Yeah, after starting off a couple of losses, I think it's fair to say Moretti sees how to play on that smaller field now.
You just get that feeling.
And they got the hang of it, right?
Yeah.
Centurions have been doing it for a long time. It's a game I'm super excited to watch.
I think it's going to be a great one.
And Division 2, let's talk about that game that you corrected me on, Red Zone Honor Game.
Yeah, Red Zone Honor Game. That's
a bunch of familiar faces.
Yes.
Dave and Mike, ex-teammates, going head-to-head at this one.
Yep. And so we'll see who plays in that game between Marvin and I. I think either way it'll definitely be a good one. Both teams, obviously, I say top dogs in the division.
3-1 against 3-0?
Yep. Mike, we're just coming off a bye. Mike, we're looking really good. Obviously, Dave looking great. A lot of ballers on both sides, really, of this team. I think it's going to be a close game. And I think, it's going to be one of those games to come down to once making a mistake, who's able to keep the cooler head. Because these quarterbacks
they're both hotheads.
Right. They're both hotheads, but they're both great.
They both haven't imploded yet.
Right. Yet is the key word.
One total L.
Yes, exactly. But, mistakes are going to be made in this game. The game's not going to be flawless. That's to be expected. A drop here, an interception there. So it's going to be about who's able to kind of key off on the mistakes other teams make. But I see this being a very close game.
Yeah, I completely agree. Game I'm eager to see. within the division. So I hope it's a shootout. I want to see points scored, man.
Definitely. It's always fun to see a lot of points. No one likes defense.
Okay, I hate talking about you this much on the show, but we're going to talk about another game. 2 undefeated teams in Division 3 going at it. Iron Wolves and Deep Threats.
Yeah.
This is the game. I think this is the game of the week.
2 undefeated teams. I'd say Iron Wolves coming off a surprising win. I think that the committee had picked us to lose. You in the mouth. And yeah, look, we do need to get the ball rolling more on the offensive side of the field. We struggled to put up points last game, but I think that Svetna. Are we going to be able to contain Svetna as much as we can? How is John going to play? How is Alexander Blostein on the deep threats? We talk about Svetna. He's also a great player too, and a guy that maybe sometimes gets overshadowed. You can't take a guy like him for granted.
Contained Phil Farron. Are you going to contain Jonathan Svetna this week? Are you going to go man to man with him?
That is to be determined. We don't. Iron Wolves do not divulge our playbook here on MFL Total Access. But I think it'll be a really good game, and I look forward to see who you're going to pick.
Yeah, I'll save my pick for later.
Yep.
Pretty easy one to pick, though.
Yep, definitely.
So, in D4, we got the Wolfpack against Les Beautés.
Yeah.
Les Beautés coming off 3 straight L's, and Wolfpack coming off their first win. Exciting to see who's going to quarterback for them. Are they going to get an NFL quarterback and NCAA quarterback this week? I know Les Beautés are still missing Thomas.
Right.
So, it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, so I just laughed at the joke you made about the NFL quarterback. For all we know, we could see maybe see Trevor Lawrence throwing for them this week. But yeah, no, totally. I think that
with the beautiful weather getting in Montreal, why would you want to be in Jacksonville?
Yeah, it's a good point. Good point. But yeah, I think this will be definitely be a good game. I'm a little bit surprised with Les Beautés. I know that losing Thomas is obviously huge. Great 2A player, great receiver, great defender, guy that always appears on the stat sheet. I think this is going to be, a game for Les Beautés. You said they're winless. This is almost a must-win situation.
Winless in the last 3 games.
The last 3 games where they do have a win, right? So, at 1-3 right now, you don't want to fall to 1-4. It becomes dangerous. I think they're what? Yeah, I'm butchering that. Yeah. They're 1-4. Yeah. Okay, they're 1-4. You don't want to fall to 1-5. Yeah. I think 1-4 right now. You go to 1-5.
They might even be 2-4.
Oh gosh. Well, let's just say they have to win this week. Les Beautés just win.
I just kept you in.
Yeah, you didn't help me much there.
So I made a mistake earlier. I said your Division 3 game was the game of the week. But the real game of the week, this Division 5 game. The moment we've all been waiting for. Spin Doctors against Phoenix.
Why is that the game of the week, Terry?
Raph against Kevin.
For those who don't know, can you explain some of what that's all about?
Go back to the first show. We had said it was greatness against Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Raph has played in this league for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
He used to play in Division 1, racked up beautiful stats. He had Player of the Week multiple times, throwing 8 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns, 10 touchdown games. And for some reason, Kevin just hated on him. Hated on the way he played, hated on the games he would win, hated on his stats, hated on the fact that he made it into the Hall of Fame before Kevin did.
Yeah.
So they got a big rivalry going. And it's a one-sided rivalry. I don't know if Ross aware of it, really. He seems like a pretty chill guy. Doesn't really care. He's out there showing this fairly new team, and I think they're getting into their groove.
Yeah.
The beginning of the season was a little difficult for them, but now they're pulling off a couple of wins, and you see them scoring points. Raph had a good game last week, scoring 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. His defense even got a couple of picks for him, so this is going to be a great game to watch.
He honestly
could be a finals preview.
Could be, and wouldn't be surprised. He honestly throws a beautiful ball. It was I believe it was my first week reffing. I was reffing one of his games. A great game
with the left arm.
Left arm to lefty, reminds me of Tua. A perfect spiral, zipping in there right in his receiver's hands. This is going to be, I'm going to beg John to ref this game. Even if I'm playing at that time. Yeah, I may sit out my game just to ref that
Beggars
one.
Can be choosers.
Yeah, well said. I'm surprised you knew that line.
All right, well, Div 5 is pretty much where your reffing expertise
yeah, Div 5
goes up to. So
when it goes to Div 4, I got a Div 4 game.
That's actually a possibility. So without further ado, let's go into the game picks.
For sure, definitely. And we, like Terry said, we won't update the picks. Obviously, there was a few of them we had this week. We're not sure. I was in the lead coming into the last week. Not sure about the case now, but that'll be up in.
It'll be up on the Thursday article.
Exactly. So we'll know then.
So first game, Centurions, Moretti Crime Family. I think you got Moretti Crime Family, and so do I.
Yeah, I think that I got them just because I'm going to keep it short and sweet. They've got this game figured out. A little bit surprising to see Joey Taylor throw 5 picks last game. I think he has a near perfect game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but give me Moretti Crime Family by 9.
I think it's going to be a Moretti Crime Family by converts. I wouldn't be surprised that all of Centurions win. I just think the bye week kind of slowed down the momentum, whereas Moretti Crime Family are coming off a huge win, and they got that momentum going. Next game, we got Holy Trollers, who are surprisingly still winless.
Yeah.
Against your henchmen.
Yep.
Anything you got to say?
I think that this is a game of two teams who really, really need a win. I think it'll be a great game. Obviously, ballers on both sides of the field. I don't expect Max to have a tough game like he's been having recently. Although he did put up 31 points against Ninja Turtles.
Because I said they would.
Right, because you said they would.
I didn't say anything yet this week.
Can you say that he has a bad game?
No.
So he has a bad game? I think that this will be another tight game. And I think, it's going to be, depending on obviously JC's health, what's going to happen with him. Obviously, if they don't have him, look out for the other guys like Sean Haney and Josh Levine, who had a great game in replacing, not a guy we talk about enough, but in replacing JC. It'll be a good game. It's a game we really need to win to stay alive. And them too.
Currently, at this time, I'm still waiting on the injury report for JC.
Okay, well said. Smart decision.
But since I gotta give a pick, I'm going with Henchman on this game. I can't see the Trollers remaining winless, but with the addition of DeMario on your team, I can't see you guys dropping this game.
I like it.
KLB and Dynasty, we both got KLB going in this game. They just destroyed OG Panthers. Hopefully, they don't make me regret them picking them. But the way they played, I never seen them play that well. I think they keep it rolling.
I think so too. I think that they won't be able to score at ease like they're able to score against you guys. But it's surprising because you guys have ballers on the defensive side of the ball. So does D Nasty. I think that KLB are able to pull off this game, but score a few points and maybe rely on the defense a little more.
Outlaws in Division 2 against Pittsfuck.
Yeah, this one was, obviously you want to know what's going to happen with Dom LaForce. When it went back and forth, so I got to give a pick. It's hard to bet against Dad, right? Stephen Harpersad, Outlaws D2. They're undefeated. I think I'm going to stick with Outlaws D2 winning that game just because the experience. They've been on a bye, so their bodies are all well rested. And I think that Outlaws D2 are going to remain undefeated.
Yeah, given the uncertainty of quarterback, I'm also going with Outlaws. But if Dom's there, I might regret my choice.
Yep.
Honor Game Red Zone. I have this one being a shootout, and I got Honor Game.
I love
remaining undefeated.
I love it.
That's it. Joyce Haters, Lone Chef.
Give me Joey's Haters to win in this one. Just pulling up a stat from last game. Joey's Haters, Sean Haney balled out. I know this is not
Given that Max doesn't throw to him in Division 1, he has to compromise and throw him all the balls in Division 2.
That's correct. And I didn't say it, you did, but he had 5 catches.
I'm just stating facts.
Yeah, facts. 92 yards, 3 catches in his last game with Joey's Haters. Sean Haney did. There was a play I was reffing, and when our game was on break, I just saw a perfect, beautiful spiral that Sean Haney made in a contested catch. I expect him to have another big game in this one. Give me him getting two TDs and
maybe
Haters
that's
winning.
what they got to do in Division 1 with the Trollers to get them rolling.
Now
that you said it, maybe that's what's going to happen against you guys.
Well, we got good defense.
I also got the Haters winning this one by, I'd say, converts. Lone Chef, after that huge win against Pittsfuck, Cloud9, little celebrations. I think Max's experience will get the better of them, though.
Yeah.
And I got the Haters winning this one. OG Panthers, Lean Mean Machines.
I went back and forth on this one, and I'm going to pick you guys. You had a really tough week this week, losing 45-8 after being up 8-0. I don't know if there is QB controversy. It looks like for you guys. For you guys that you're gonna stay with
controversy.
No controversy there. And look, you guys have too many ballers to keep losing games. It's that simple as that. I'm gonna pick you guys to win.
Old school Étonnant Day coming up the monster game, replacing Charles at the quarterback position. Offensively, defensively, I think he leads Division 3 in interceptions.
Yeah, he has 10 picks in 5 games. I believe that's 2 a game. I believe he got Player of the Week. This is I almost picked Old School in the upset. But I'm picking L'Étonnant. I think it'll be a close game. The reason I think L'Étonnant will win this one is I think that they're solid defensively. Obviously, we played against them. We've seen them. You said that one game where almost the whole roster got an interception. I think it won't be as easy for Daik to score as many points as he did in the previous game. I think they will be able to score Old School, but I think that L'Étonnant will get a stop at the end of the game to secure the win.
The reason was going to be that Old School had too many beers before the game.
It could have been that too, because they look a little woozy, going into the games.
Not Daik though. Daik was upright and pretty solid.
Sober as heck.
The Mustard Tigers against Average Joes.
You first.
I got the Average Joes winning this game. Jason, my man, back me up on this. Mustard Tigers, they were up last week against Nice TDs at half. They lost that game. Brian got injured. They're still winless on the year. And you guys got to prove to me you can win a game before I start choosing you again.
Fair, but I'm going to put faith in the Mustard Tigers. Seen them play last year. Obviously played a few games against the Iron Wolves. I've said it before about other teams, but there's some teams that are too good to keep losing, and the Iron Wolves are one of them. Hopefully, Brian is okay. He had to be pulled in the last game because I believe he hurt his shoulder. Think he should be good to go, but I expect the Tigers to win this one.
Yeah, Jason's Average Joes won't have too many wins either yet, but him and Burson have a pretty good connection.
Yeah, really.
He's one fast dude, and I could see him running all over the Mustard Tigers team.
Gonna be interesting.
Nice Cities, Washington Foreskins.
This was a game I had a tough time picking, and we ended up both picking the foreskins on this one. I think that we look at the foreskins. I love the fact that they go for 2 all the time. It just shows like the guts they have, and every time I look over at one of their games, they're throwing the ball deep, and it's not as if they're throwing the ball deep to kind of stretch the defense out. Like you watch more of their games than I have, but that's what they like to do, and they seem to be connecting. And if you're gonna keep connecting on deep balls, why stop? And I think that if you look at nice CDs, obviously they have 2 great defensive players in Andrew and Chris Hope.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Henchman boys got to give them some love. I think that they may be able to stop the deep ball, but I think they're just going to be able to get a few of them, and that'll be the difference in this game.
Yeah, and they definitely have those 2 Division 1 players that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But Washington Foreskin are just so well-rounded. They do have like almost no weakness on that team.
Yeah.
And I think they're missing their quarterback this past weekend, and they still put up 50 points. With him there, they get the receiver back, and I can't see Washington Foreskin being stopped right now.
Agreed.
Big boys against Chiefs. Nice jerseys by the Chiefs, by the way.
Yeah? I didn't catch them.
It was that gray jersey with the Chief.
Okay. Chiefs, but shouldn't it be red because it's Kansas City Chiefs, or?
I don't think it's Chiefs. There's other Chiefs in the world besides the
okay.
Chiefs.
So I just, my mind focused on the NFL, but I think I had old school. No, not old school.
You got the big boys winning this game.
That's correct. Got big boys winning this game.
Did you drink before the show?
I drank some root beer, so like a little different type of beer. Yeah, give me big boys to win in this one. I think it'll be a tight game, but give me the boys.
I also got big boys winning this one after Xavier Rachet's performance. I can't think that it won't be Francois back at quarterback. And he's quarterbacking this game. I see big boys winning. Then we got the Chiefs against the second of their doubleheader against the Black Knights.
Black Knights surprisingly
got demolished.
Yeah, against old
that's
school.
Been nice.
Yeah, really. I believe Daik had 3 interceptions in that game. Leon Holder not having the best of games. Obviously missing JC, missing Sean Kennedy in that game for Black Knights, which is huge.
Doesn't help that JC got hurt the day that Sean wasn't showing up, right?
Exactly, for sure. Losing 2 great targets there. I assume Sean will be back next week. I think they bounce back. Leon will not have back-to-back poor weeks. Give me the Black Knights to win this game.
I also got the Black Knights winning this game. Next game, Deep Threats against Iron Wolves.
I don't pick.
I got Deep Threats winning, and it's not even going to be close.
Okay.
You guys really surprised me against Satan Island, but John throwing 67 yards will not work against Deep Threats defense. Also, I don't know who's going to come sub for you, which other D1 player is going to get a sub this week, but when you have the commission on your team, you can put some strings here and there. But,
listen, Alec is on our roster, and he doesn't play D1, but he is a D1 player. So, John, I stand by you.
All right, well, I got the Deep Threats winning this game. I think Jonathan Svetna is going to be unguardable, unstoppable, even if the somewhat great willpower will be on him. So I got Deep Threats in this one. Next game, we're moving to Division 4.
Okay.
Raw Sauce, Thunder Buddies. Both teams coming at 4-1 in this one.
Yeah, I go going with Raw Sauce to win in this game. I was surprised that they lost last week to the game I refed, Les Panache team. Obviously, Les Panache are really good. This team really has a bunch of players. Like I said, I believe they have 11 guys last game. Bunch of ballers on the team. I think it was Desjardins. We said
Yvon Desjardins.
Yeah, okay, good.
Receiver D4.
Right, yeah.
I'll make sure we lock him down.
Yeah, but it's going to be tough. I see, look, you guys have defenders. I think that he's going to have a pretty good game in this one. Got to watch him deep, and their defense is not something to be sneezed at either. These guys have a good defense. They have a good rusher. So the key in this game is going to be, containing you at rush if you do run the ball.
If they ask me to rush, I might not rush, depending on how many beers they got in their cooler.
Fair enough. But no, give me Raw Sauce in this one.
All right, so what's that expression? 2 birds, 1 stone, something like that.
Yeah, killing 2 birds with 1
so
stone.
if I get the win, then you get your pick wrong.
Yeah, just like in Iron Wolves, if you get the pick wrong.
So Les Bontés, Wolfpack.
I think I have the Wolfpack.
Yes, you got Wolfpack.
Wolfpack, yeah, because those 2 D1 players that I didn't name before. They're going to be too good. I don't know who's going to I don't know if it's going to be, like we said, Trevor Lawrence or Tua quarterbacking for them.
If it's Tua, I got to change my pick, though.
Okay, hang on. Dak Prescott fan. Give me Wolfpack to win this game. As long as that receiver with the initials MS on the Wolfpack is on that team, they're going to win.
D4 player of the week, I heard.
Yeah, D4 player of the week, but D1 baller.
I also got Wolfpack winning this game. I think Les Beautés are just out there to have fun at this point. I think with their 3 straight losses, they just want to distribute the ball, have all smiles. I think, and Wolfpack, that momentum, those players I mentioned earlier, they're balling, man. So I got Wolfpack winning this one. Les Beautés also have a doubleheader playing Les Panache, and we both chose Les Panache in this one.
Yeah, I think that if you look at Felix and the way that he's able to throw the ball and run, I wasn't convinced of his ability to throw the ball because I often see him run. After seeing him last game,
it's kind of like a sidearm.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like more than Mahomes. It's just like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like bowling up. But I believe in him as a quarterback, especially in D4, and pick them to continue rolling.
Yeah, I got to say panache for pretty much the same reasons. All day, every day against serial killers. We both chose serial killers in this one.
We did serial killers. Let's be honest. We chose them just because we follow them on Instagram. We didn't want to get hate. That is true. So I chose them because, like we said, they're ballers. I think it's going to be tough for a team to beat them in this division. Unfortunately, I don't get to play you guys again. I think that would be a good matchup. But I think serial killers put up 40 plus points in this one.
I also think they put up 40 plus points in this one.
Great minds think alike.
You're complimenting yourself there?
No, complimenting you.
Les Improbables and Les Bouchers. It's going to be a good game.
What was my pick?
Man,
Les
stop
Bouchers.
with that root beer.
Yeah, Les Bouchers. I think, Les Improbables, they've been getting better, like you said. I just think they don't have a... We'll see what happens. They do have ballers. They have, in terms of players that know the game of flag football on that team and players that have, guys who've been playing before, they do have the roster on that team to compete. I just think, Les Bouchers, I just feel them winning this game. It's kind of more of a gut feeling for me, and I picked them to win this.
Yeah, I went back and forth on this one after the way I saw Les Improbables come out last week against us. I got Les Bouchers also winning this one. A very, very close game, and I wouldn't be surprised if Les Improbables pull up the upset. And then lots of double headers in Division 4. Les Improbables also have a double header against All Day Every Day, who will also be their second game. So if they have that 25-man roster this week, I think it's the week to have it.
One team for one game and one team for the next.
Exactly. Everyone playing just one way. We went on separate picks. You got Les Improbables. I got All Day Every Day pulling up the first win. This
was a gut feeling. You know when you watch those commercials, they say trust your gut, and I think like ED is kind of the team that maybe the favorites in this one. I think you would say
I'm not. Yeah, it's got to win.
Right, that's true. No, you're right.
Pick 'em.
It is, and I haven't been kind to Les Improbables.
No, you have not.
No, I haven't. They are a good team,
and they're nice guys.
They are very nice guys, and they are better players than I've been talking about them in the past. I think they're going to win this game, and I hope they do.
I think All Day Every Day is going to get the hang of the flag football. Now it's going to be they're going to have to play a couple of games, second game in the same day, and by then Improbables are going to be for sure drunk.
That's a good point. I didn't factor that in.
Of course you didn't. Titans against Sneaky Snakes.
Titans by 1,000.
That's not very nice. Sneaky Snakes are a great group.
Sorry, they are. I'm sorry.
Great team.
Yes,
Mario's
they are.
Very nice.
They are. I didn't mean that. I just think that.
Yes, you didn't mean what you said.
Keep
backpedaling.
They're a very nice team, group of players. They're a very good team. Unfortunately, they haven't put a great game together this week, and I don't see Titans losing back to back.
I do not see Titans losing maybe another game this season. Maybe unless that week they play us, but maybe we'll see. So I also got Titans this game. Then we got Airborne against Les Bouchers, Les Bouchers are also playing their second game, coming up against Airborne, who got shut out against Serial Killers.
Give me Airborne. I like to pick teams that don't score the previous week because they come into the field. They feel angry. It
worked for you when you picked Phoenix.
It did, exactly. It worked for me when I picked Phoenix and Kevin. I just think these guys are too good to be shut out back-to-back weeks, and I'm picking Airborne here.
Yeah, I got Les Bouchers in this one. I think that by that game 2, they're going to have the chemistry going, the momentum. I see Les Bouchers pulling this one off and getting 2 wins on the day.
2-0. That's always a great Saturday.
Yeah. Let's move along to Division 5. Only 2 games this week in Division 5. We got Gold Rush and Mimosa Crew. We both picked Gold Rush.
Gold Rush is stacked.
Gold Rush is stacked?
They're my favorite to win it all right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Kevin, you hear that?
Sorry, Kevin. They have a very good team.
I think they're playing later in the season. They haven't played yet.
It'll be a good game. Give me Gold Rush. I'll probably pick them the entire season.
All right, I also got Gold Rush. Travis is getting better every week as a thrower. We obviously know he could run all over the field in that division.
Yes.
He rushes for Holy Trollers in Div 1, so he got that speed. He got those moves.
Right.
When you're a D1 rusher, man, you
fast.
You gotta know how to move.
You fast.
And then the game of the week.
Yes.
Spin Doctors
Save
against
the best
Phoenix.
for last.
Oh, yeah.
So
you got Phoenix.
I got Phoenix. Originally, I picked Spin Doctors, and then I picked Phoenix. Because, Phoenix has Kevin. And the Spin Doctors don't have Kevin. With that beard and the mouth, you don't pick against Kevin. Give me Kevin.
I got the Spin Doctors winning this one, and it won't even be close. When you got a real quarterback on a team and someone who thinks he could throw on the other team, the game won't even be close.
Spoken like a true D1 quarterback right here.
Hey, I'm in D4 now. Moving up.
That's true, and you've been balling.
Okay, let's move to your favorite segment that we could stop doing if you like, because it's been horrible.
I think
if you want to stop doing bold predictions, I'm okay with it.
Let me think about it. And we will not. And I haven't thought of one, so you go first. I'll think of one on the spot.
Okay, I got mine. I thought about it long and hard. Kevin, this week, on Phoenix, will throw more interceptions than Ralph will get touchdowns.
We say that again?
Kevin?
Yes.
To say?
Yes.
The Phoenix quarterback?
Yes.
He's going to throw more picks than Ralph gets touchdowns.
Wow, okay. That is bold.
Ralph's been averaging about 3 to 4 touchdowns a game.
Yeah.
So Kevin's going to throw more interceptions than that.
You want to hear my bold prediction? Kevin rushes for 2 TDs in that game. 2 TDs, so that has to be a minimum of 5. So 2 TDs, 2 rush attempts, 12 yards. So Kevin, that is a bold prediction.
So Kevin, sorry to say, you're gonna get he's either gonna get thrown out of the game, might get hurt,
or sacked 10 times. Yeah. So that was a good show, eh? That was a fun show. I like doing this show. Also, I want to mention, I almost forgot. If you cannot see here, Terry has little flamingos all over him. He says he wasn't supporting the flamboyant flamingos. We all know that's a lie.
Nice shirt, isn't it?
It is a very nice shirt. We love the flamboyant flamingos here. I hope I'm refereeing their games. Chill group of guys, but yeah, no, enough talking about them. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. It was great. Glad we were able to both wear our shirts. Yeah, like we said, hit us up at the field.
Let us know what you think.
Yes, let us know what you think. We want to feel important. We're
important.
feeling
a little more important every week.
Yes, definitely.
I had like 3 guys come up to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I won't mention how many I had because it'll make you feel bad. But yeah, no.
I'm not gonna say what they told me about you.
Yeah, no. All right, Terry.
We already know what Miles thinks.
All right, that's it for the show, folks. Terry's talking too much. We're gonna end it here. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and see you Saturday.
See you Saturday.